Hey, what's up, people? This is Ike Love. I'm creator and author of the blog, The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom and insights gained along my path to becoming a greater, stronger version of myself. And if you want to read more on the blog and you are on YouTube, you could click under the window where it says Show More, and you see a link for www.theviablealternative.com. So today, what I want to talk about, the title of this video blog is Rise Up and Create. And to preface this brief blog, I wanted to read to you a verse from the scripture. And before I read you this verse from the scripture, no matter what spiritual walk you're on, you could appreciate it. This is not to convert you. This is not to preach fire and brimstone and hell on you. This is not to tell you about how you're going to hell. This is not to tell you how you're a worthless piece of crap sinner. This is whatever your spiritual walk is, whatever your understanding of God is, or the creator, or the divine, or the supernatural, whatever your creator for that is. I want you to see this verse through that. This is just keep this in mind. So the verse is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. Another verse says I put the childish things behind me. And so, first off, what I want to say is that in life, we, of course, are born as infants, completely helpless to our parents, completely dependent on our parents. And, obviously, our parents reflected upon the fact that we're completely immature and helpless and did not know too much of the world. They don't give us too much freedom, or what's the other word? They don't give us too much freedom or responsibility, For instance, now, as you're growing up through childhood, your parents do your laundry, they make your bed, they wash your clothes, they pay the bills, they choose your clothes for you. I mean, they do everything for you, right? But then as you get older, you're given more responsibility to do more things, Whereas in the beginning, unless your parents are horribly abusive, you didn't wash dishes at 2 years old. You didn't mow the lawn when you were 3 years old, or you didn't weren't required to do some yard work at the age of 4. I mean, not any major yard work where you had to rake leaves and bag them or stuff like that. You never have to do anything of that. Basically speaking, your parents did everything. But again, as you progress in age, you got more responsibility and more freedom. For instance, now as you get from 5 to 6 to 7, you're expected to clean up after yourself. You're expected to make your bed. You're given chores to do around the house. You're given allowance of pocket money. You're given allowance of pocket money and things like that. And your responsibilities start increasing as well as your freedom, along with your freedom. When you hit 10, you're giving more allowance. You can stay out later. Your curfew increases. You're given more chores around the house. You're allowed to maybe, instead of having your parents accompany you to school and your school is near your house, now you can walk to school on your own if the school's within walking distance. You can now go to the store and cross the street by yourself. As you get old into your teens, your curfew extends even more. Now, in some households, instead of being given allowance, you're expected to go get a job and, hold your hold your own weight. Is that the right phrase? Hold your own weight. Hold your own keep. Jesus Christ, whatever. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. But anyway, the point of the matter is you're expected to hold your own in the household. You're expected to get a job. You're expected now. And now if you if you suggest to your mom she wash her clothes, she'll probably slap you. You should get the hell up and wash your own clothes, iron your own clothes. Now you're even given a budget. If you don't have to work and you're still given allowance, your mother may give you the money now to go out and buy your own clothes and do your own clothes shopping. When you hit 16 now, you may be you go out and take your driver's test and you're not be able to use your parents' car or required to save up and get your own car. My point of the matter is you get older, you're expected to play a more active role in your life. You're given more responsibility for your life. Your parents don't hold that responsibility anymore, If you do something like, I don't know, you punch your kid in the face at 3 years old, it's going to reflect bad on the parents. But if you punch someone in the face at the age of 19, it's going to reflect bad on you. You have more say in your destiny. And to correlate this with the bigger picture of spirituality and God, I believe it's the same thing in our spiritual walk with God, or whatever your definition of God is. From my personal experience, when you're starting off as a babe spiritually, God gives you less responsibility. There are certain things, you may pray for something, and a way will be provided for you for that thing to come into fruition. Doors open for you. You know what I mean? You want certain things, or God will provide for you readily and easily. But then I believe where people start to stumble in their spiritual walk is when they reach a certain point of growth, of maturity, or they reach a certain point where now God expects you now to hold more of your own weight. And what happens when people reach that stump is that that block or that brick wall is that they're praying and praying and praying and praying for God to do something. God, do this in my life. God, deliver me from this. God, open doors in my life. God, help me to make more money. God, help me make a promotion in my job. God, help me take my life to a higher level. And you're waiting. You're angry. You're pissed off at him. You're saying that, what the hell, God, why do you hate me? Why have you forsaken me? Why have you cursed me? And blah, blah, blah. But no, at this time, now, as in any good master or teacher, they're able to see the point in your growth, in your path, in your journey, where you're able to take that leap. And that leap will be that step into you maturing into a different level. And what I mean is that God now is waiting for you to take this first step towards him. He's no longer gonna provide for you things the way you're used to provide for, where you pray for something and it happens. Now God is waiting for you to move by faith. God is waiting for you to act upon things so he can help you act. God now is putting you in a role where you become the co-creator in the things he puts in your heart that he wants to fulfill through you. The things that God wants to fulfill in our lives, he usually puts as desires in our heart. And then now it's up to us to step towards that and work with him into bringing that into fruition. So, there comes a certain point in your life where you want something, and even though you don't see like how you're going to get it, or you don't see more than 2 feet in front of you, you are expected to move, and then God will move through you and start clearing out the path so that more of your journey can be revealed to you, and then you can take forward steps into bringing whatever vision you have into fruition. I've said it before in my other videos, many times we reach a point where we're waiting for things to happen. We're waiting for things to happen, or waiting for God to make things happen. When in return, God is waiting for you to happen to things. And as you happen to these things, then he uses his power then to help you bring things into fruition. It's called being a co-creator. It's kind of like, if you're building a house with your partner has certain skill sets that you don't have, you have skill sets that he doesn't have, and you are helping to build a building together, and it's the same thing with your walk with God. God will, you move forward by faith, and God will open doors. God will bring people into your life. God will give you ideas, or God will make opportunities happen in your life. But they're not going to happen until certain things happen with you. They're not going to happen until you happen. So in your life now, if you're feeling some, or you're seeing some type of stagnation, or you feel blocked or stifled, it's because now God believes that you now have reached a point that you now are able to be a co-creator in your destiny. You know what I mean? He sees you now that this guy is ready now to go now and participate in the creation of this vision I put in his head. So, and yeah, there may be some growth to get to being an effective co-creator, but that's what stepping out of your comfort zone is. That's what life and growth in life is about, being out of your comfort zone. A good teacher sees when you're ready and sees, a good teacher will see just to the extent of how, or he knows your comfort zone, and he sees what extent that you need to step out of your comfort zone. He knows what will be too much, and he knows what is going to be too little. So he knows the right amount that you need to step out of your comfort zone to grow in the way you need to grow, and to take the next step, the natural step of growth that you need to take. So in your life now, as you're sitting here now, open your mind and open your heart, and start to see that, you're ready for your next step now, and that it's not going to be just laid out for you now, that you now have to make moves in your life. You have to take these leaps of faith. You have to walk into the dark. You have to like, what's that thing? I don't know what I was going to say. You have to, you have to take whatever little you have now and make something bigger of it. You have to take your lemons and make lemonade. You know what I mean? It's time for you to move. It's time for you to rise up and create. It's time for you, I don't have this, I don't have, but what do you have? I can't see this, I can't see that, but you can see something. And if you can't see anything, walk anyway. Walk anyway in the dark and everything like that, and maybe you'll see a light. But by all means, start to move, and then you're gonna start to see this wonderful unfolding of God's vision that He put in your heart. You're gonna see it unfolding and come into fruition. And this is a great time now, because I'm learning now that it's a time now where you can, have those quiet times. Whether you're walking along the water, or you are taking a stroll one night or one early morning, or you just turning off your phone, turning off the laptop, turning off the television, and you're having a quiet time with the divine or God or the universe or whatever you believe in, and you're not letting Him input ideas into your head. And as you spend this private time consistently, you're going to take hold into one idea, or you may have already had an idea, and more ideas begin to pile up on top of it. So this idea grows and grows and grows until it reaches a fevered pitch inside of you that you have to take action. And you only get this by opening yourself up and having that quiet communion with God, so that He can now speak to your spirit. And in these times, as you get these visions, you're going to get ideas of where to go and where to move. You know what I mean? You're going to start to decide to make changes in your life that are going to reflect the vision you want to see. You're going to start, you are going to start to now create your reality in terms of what you see. You're going to start embodying that which you want to see and help create. And as you help create and build that momentum, you're now going to send reverberations in the spiritual, in the ethers, the spiritual, whatever you believe in, that will now open doors for you in different ways, so that this vision can begin to build, and you're going to see more of it manifest in the physical realm. So rise up, be a co-creator, and start to participate in your life. God now, or you, have grown to a certain point now where you can be an active participator in your destiny, a more active participator in your destiny, in the sense of like, I believe we're always responsible for life, but I'm saying you're reaching a point now in this great vision in your life that it's time for you to start getting busy and happening. Because hitherto, believe me, there's a time when you have to get ready to get started. Some of us are lacking so many essential skills that we just have to get ready to get started. But it comes a certain point that if you're consistent, you're finally at the starting line. And now you're really ready to take that walk. And taking that walk now is going to require you now being an active participant and a co-creator with God to do great things. Because sometimes now, God is waiting for you. God is waiting for you to see where you're at now and that you're ready to take the move, even though you don't think you're ready. He sees you're ready. So therefore, you're ready. And you will grow into that role of being a co-creator and continue to grow into glory after glory, step after step, growing and evolving and becoming a greater, stronger version of yourself. And God manifesting more through you. And you seeing these greater and greater, or this vision come into greater and greater fruition. So I have said what I needed to say, because my food now is about to be ready. Never mind, I was going to say my statement, but I don't know. So yeah, if you want to read more of my blog, go to www.theviablealternative.com. If you want to follow me on Twitter, which I need to update today because I forgot to update it yesterday, and I made a year vow to update it every day. So if I miss a day, I just update it the next day, and I just do 2 in place of what I missed the day before. Why the hell do you even care? I don't know. So follow me to the Viable Alt. If you like what I have to say, please click and subscribe. And also, if you like, please click on like, leave a nice comment, and I think I said everything I need to say. So, rise up and create, and take care. God bless, and peace.